peace and blessings upon the soul of our teacher Muhammad al-Mustafa sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Right, we are looking at the destroyers of right. We are looking at the destroyers of children tonight, and I know many a times when we talk about destroy of children, we tend to look at some of the outside destroyers. When I say outside destroyers, I mean ancillary destroyers, such as we talk about drugs, we talk about influences from friends, influences from society, influences from social media, of course, negative influences at that. But we have to begin tonight by talking about the real destroyers of children, which, if those things are there, they can destroy the entire fabric of the society because once they destroy the children, these children will end up destroying the society itself. And the first and the major destroyers of children are no other than the parents themselves. Recall that Rasulullah Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam mentioned that kullukum ra'in wa kullukum mas'ulun an ra'iyatihi, that you all are shepherd and you all will be asked about how you have flocked your sheep. Responsibility is not a matter of just feeding and clothing or housing alone. It involves moral discipline, it involves emotional training, it involves character cultivation and reformation, and of course, spiritual enlightenment. And the reason is very clear. If a parent or a father or a mother build the best of houses, buy the best of cars for the children, but fails to reform and set right the characters of the children, then that parent, what that father or mother is doing to that child whom you left the house for him or her, you left the cars for him or her, once you don't we don't train their character, once you don't reform their attitude and pattern, what you're doing is that you are succeeding in destroying the next generation of the community. And when parents fail to do their duty, then instruction starts gradually, and that instruction will eventually engulf the entire society if care is not taken. Respected viewers, we fail to set clear boundaries for their children. When they begin to allow their children the freedom of action in respect of whatever they want to do, good or bad. She wants to get this, she gets it. He wants to get that, he gets that. What you're going to be having is you're going to be having a society that is filled with youth without discipline. And of course, this youth without discipline will grow up to become adults without restraint. And of course, you will see today some adults who are grown up in age, but they don't have the maturity of adulthood. So what they're suffering from is infantile, leftover childish and infantile attitude, which had bereft them of the maturity of adulthood. And of course, no thanks to their parents. Respected viewers, did you know that there are some parents that cannot tell their children no? They can't tell their children, no, you can't do this. They are afraid of the feel that when they upset their children, the society, the home front is going to be happy. You don't have to tolerate that. Let the child cry. Let the child front the face today. The child will become better for it tomorrow. So some parents, they don't want to upset their children. They avoid correction of their children because they want to, and some of them say, my children are my best friend. I don't want them to be sad. Oh, crying out loud, let them be sad today. They will thank you tomorrow for doing your work. When the parents adopt this kind of attitude, they will raise children who cannot tolerate frustration, will feel entitled whatever they need to get. And I have seen some children, they feel so bossy, they feel so puffed up at childhood. And you caused it, mother. You caused it, father. Your child is crying over this. You beg, I beg, give her now, make it no cry. If you want cry, make him cry. If you want to go cry, I beg, okay, everything you see, the child wants, I want this, I want that, and you keep giving and giving and giving, you spoil the child. So the child grow up feeling entitled that I must get whatever I want. No thanks to you. you are the first person, if it is possible for government to arrest anybody, I think you are the first person to be arrested. So you end up raising children who feel dependent. They don't have independent mind. They suffer from dependency syndrome. They depend on you forever in their life. They can't take independent decision. They can't live on their own. They feel entitled to anything they see, anything they see with people, they want to get it. And because they feel and they believe that they must get it. You are training children who will reject authority from any quarter. If anybody punishes, and I've seen some parents who will go to school and fight the teachers of their children. How dare you beat my son? How dare you touch my daughter? And this is how you have children who will be destroyed by no other than you, the parents. Respected viewers, let me note very important point here, that discipline of our children is not oppression of our children. And with discipline children, what we're doing is that we are whipping them into line. Of course, yesterday, because you caused the failure of the child today, you've caused it yesterday. Because every time, for example, you want to go out to a child to go with you, and you say, okay, leave, let him come with me. Why must he come with you? Let him stay at home with others. Come with me. Why must he come with you? Let him stay at home with others. And this is a problem with the society. No thanks to you. When you set boundaries to children, you teach them accountability, you teach them respect. And when a child cannot say sir or ma to people, and you are looking at that child, you are spoiling the child, the future, the future of the child. You are destroying that child. And I know of some children, they don't care a hoot about who talks to them. And the father will be clapping for them that my child is being assertive, that he's talking. And the father will be clapping for them that my child is being assertive, that he's talking to elders with assertiveness. That is not being assertive. That is destruction of the value system in a society. When your child cannot mind the way he or she talks to elders, no respect, no restraint, then what you are teaching, what you are raising is a child who become a monster to the larger society. When you have a child, when you don't set boundaries for the child loses self-control. And eventually, like I said, the society will suffer for it. Respected viewers, so you, the father, you are the mother, you are the cause of this problem. You over pamper your child because you indulge them. Indulging them meaning that you are available to give them anything they want, good, bad, and ugly. Sometimes some parents mix it up. They feel that when you love a child, it means that you have to give the child everything. Who does that anywhere? Nobody does that anywhere. Even if you have everything, you don't have to give your child everything. You don't have to give your child the freedom to go anywhere, the freedom to go and mix up with anybody. You must restrain. You must control. That is why you are the father. That is why you are the mother. So don't confuse it. Love does not mean giving the child everything or granting every request made child. Okay? Or love does not mean that you must defend every mistake the child made. Your child made a mistake. Let the child learn to apologize. Some children cannot say, I am sorry, sir. No. For them to tell even their colleagues or their elders in the family, it's as if their teeth will pull out of their mouth for saying, I am sorry. And who trained them this way? You. You claim you love your children, but this is not love. This is not love. This is arrogant training. So when you raise a child whose every request you grant, every complaint the child complains of, you give them, every mistake the child makes, you are the one to defend the mistakes of your children, then you are not helping those children. So children must learn how to wait on the line, wait on the queue, wait for your turn. You are sharing something at home, the child stretches forth the hand to somewhere else. Rasulullah Muhammad corrected Abdullah ibn Salama. So no, don't pick coffee mayalik. Eat from what is next to you. Don't pick your hand up and down. So this is the training we should give our children. They must learn to wait. They must learn to walk in the house. Everybody is working, your children are not working. And because you say, house help will do it now, house up. Now condition, no. Now condition, As I get mama now, as I get papa. So your own child does not have table manner. They don't know how to work. They can't take responsibility. They don't know when they finish food, they should pack their plate and go and wash it by themselves. They drop the plate for who to wash. They drop their clothes for who to clean. They don't know how to lay their beds. And you say you are training your children, you love your children. No, you hate those children. They don't know how to earn. They don't know how to be told no, because you don't teach them to tell them, you don't teach them to understand the language of no. It is not available. Respected viewers, when you fail to teach your children's responsibility, for example, when a child breaks something, your child breaks the glass cup, and yet you're blaming the house. Tiny, pick up the glass cup and broke it. And now you're blaming the house help. Why did you leave the glass cup on the dining? Why else would the glass cup be? Madam, whose children are angels? Finger, they have golden hands. How do you know if you touch anything? You don't try. You don't try at all. At school, you blame the teacher. You don't blame your child. Somebody must receive the blame, but not your child. When a child fails an examination, you blame the school. That school, they are not doing well. Oh, no. In that same school, there are children who are doing very well, excellently well. Let your child take responsibility for his or her action. It's only then we can begin to have children who are not going to be destroyed in the long run. So, dear viewers, dear respected parents, you must teach and train children to take responsibility. For example, a child goes to the bathroom, uses the water closet without flushing. Go and flush, go and clean it up. Let the child go back and clean it up. A child makes a mistake. Let the child learn to admit, I am sorry. A child offends someone. Let a child learn to apologize. I won't do it again. You must insist, apologize. This is how you train responsibility. This is how you teach responsibility. We can't allow children to give birth to children is good, but to give birth to children who have been destroyed morally, ethically, and spiritually is even worse, because they're going to become your problem. Let me give an example. I heard from my respected colleagues, may Allah continue to bless him, a particular child, so 2 years wasted out of the child's life. So respected viewers, you must train children that will take care of their mess, take care of their plate, clean the table, wash their plates, admit their mistakes, apologize to others, and face consequences of their action. If they are wrong, let your child know that he is wrong. And nobody should do that for him. The child should know that he is wrong. Because when you shield a child from consequences, that child will become an adult who will blame every other person. And that is why today we have irresponsible people holding position of responsibility. And they don't care about you. They're not empathetical. They are chairman, local government, they are governor of a state, they are president of a nation. They don't have feeling of human being because they have not raised to understand this language. The plight of others, they don't understand somebody's suffering. They don't understand somebody apologizing. They don't understand feelings. They are monstrous in their behavior. May Allah protect us against this kind of children. Respected viewers, you must take responsibility because you are the first that the child will attend. When you lie, when you backbite, when you shout, when you live a life of toxicity, your marital life is filled with toxicity, how would children be responsible? How would children not be destroyed? So the first and the greatest responsibility, destroyer of our children are the parents. And I pray for you and myself that we will not be part of the destruction of our children. Having said that, there are other destroyers in the society, and I would like to quickly mention a few before our time is up tonight, because we'll be stopping this lecture tonight by 10 o'clock, God willing. Other destroyers are excessive phone and screen exposure. So when a child frequently uses a phone, then that child reduces attention. Just entered glued to the phone. He's not paying attention. Even crossing from one end of the road to the other, the child is glued to the phone with earpiece talking to the head. Oh my God, this is amazing. So when the child is used to, I mean, it is used to the phone, the cell phone, frequent usage of cell phone, this will reduce attention to what is happening around him. It will expose them to inappropriate content and to create addiction. And this itself is a problem to the society. So because at this point in time, the phone becomes the teacher, social media becomes a moral compass, and the child is taken over by negative technology. So what we should do is that, number one, and what I keep advising parents to do, your children at secondary school to do with Android phone. You can only give them Android phones at maturity when they're discernible. And you must train them with the taqwa, the fear of the Almighty, to understand what is right and what is wrong. Now, here it is. I saw children, primary six, early secondary school, JSS1, JSS2, and I see them with Android phone. I asked them, who gave you this phone? They said, my daddy bought it for me, my mom bought it for me. I said, your child, your father, your mother, they don't like you. And quite a number of us fall into this trap. At secondary school age, our children are always going about with flashy phone, doing nothing but games, just surfing the internet, and it will reduce their attention to their studies. You are the cause, father. You are the cause, mother. And lastly, when a child is bereft of spiritual nurturing, because it doesn't have a spiritual foundation, it's going to be vulnerable to serious attacks in life. That child that is spiritually empty will be filled by something else: trendy catchwords, peer pressure, ideological conflict, and desires being overridden by desires. With all this, the child cannot become better adult. So I want to respectfully do not grow children without control. Do not leave children without supervision. Do not have children who will have bonding with other people or bonding with phone or technology without having bonding with you. So we should train children who will respect authority, who will not feel entitled, who will be able to handle criticism, and will not be addicted to devices, and will have reduction to screen time, the usage of the phone. Respected viewers, let us begin to rebuild our children if they have been destroyed. It is a time for us to begin to rebuild them by being consistent, by being firm, by being just, not necessarily being harsh, but telling them that there has to be boundaries. Now you are XYZ age. You take responsibility for your action. I do my part, you do your part. You must learn to apologize when you make mistake. You must take responsibility. If you eat your food, go and wash the plate. Agreed. You must sweep the house, dress your bedroom. It is your duty to do that. And these are part of the lessons that we should give to our children. May Allah in His mercy make it easy for us. So on a final note, let us try to take control of our children time on phone. The digital space, the digital experience environment must be controlled. We should have environment and homes where we mention the name of Allah, or not being able to. At this point, I want to respectfully thank you all, for joining us tonight in this very special edition on Family Hour. And that is, how can we ensure that we do not destroy our children? It is our responsibility. Allah has given us these children as amana, as trust. So we must hold them as amana, because we have a duty not to only to our Creator, we also have duty to our society to make certain we train our children the best way, where they will be useful to themselves and they will be useful to the larger society. I want to sincerely thank you and appreciate you. Before we wrap up tonight, let me quickly go through some of the messages that we have. Okay, one of the brothers, I don't know. I want to thank you all, Brother Charles. I want to thank you. Awal Abdullahi, thank you. May Allah bless you. Hajia Zainab, my wife, thank you. And all those people that join us tonight, I want to ask Allah in His mercy to bless you all and grant you success. I hope to see you, inshallah, on Saturday. We'll be having the faith hour. Stick around with us. May Allah bless you. Thank you. Do have a lovely night rest. And once again, I tell you, Ramadan Kareem, Ramadan Mubarak.